these cold temperatures can definitely be harmful to your health if you don't take the precautions to stay safe.
So joining us live now to talk more about the symptoms to watch for and the tips to stay warm in these cool temperatures is Dr. Allan Grill, Chief of the Department of Family Medicine at Markham Stouffville Hospital. Dr. Grill, it's great to see you again. Thanks for coming in to talk about this. So we're going to see some really cold temperatures, especially tomorrow. But it's been a pretty chilly winter, I think, for the past few weeks. What health concerns should people be aware of?
Yeah, good morning to both of you. So, with these cold temperatures that we're having, if you have prolonged exposure to these cold temperatures outside, it can actually be harmful to your health, as you said. And so what happens is, the blood vessels that are sort of on the surface of your skin, they tend to constrict because they want to protect your core body temperature. So the blood flow or the circulation, especially to the extremities, are put at risk, like ears, nose, fingers, toes.
Yep.
And you can start off with a condition called frost nip, and that's when your skin gets red. It can start to hurt and sting. It can even get numb. The good news is that at that point, there's no permanent damage. So what you want to do is you want to tell that person, or if you are that person, you want to get inside to a warm area.
Kind of.
It's a warning sign.
Yeah.
Get out of any wet clothes. Maybe put a blanket around you to warm you up. Drink something warm. But if you don't stop that exposure, the frost nip can turn into something called frost bite. And that's where you get permanent damage to the skin tissue. The skin gets hard. It can turn blue. It's a medical emergency. You have to go to the emergency room. Sometimes, you hear stories of people getting amputated fingers and toes. Really sad.
Yeah.
And the other condition you have to worry about is hypothermia. That's when your body temperature goes below 35 degrees. Our normal temperature is around 37. And what happens is, aside from the initial shivering, people start to get confused. They get clumsy. They can't pick up, they drop things. They get drowsy, so decreased level of consciousness. Again, if those signs occur, another medical emergency, got to seek care right away.
And you said just 35 degrees. That's only a couple of degrees off where you should be. But I suppose when you have a fever, you're only a couple of degrees warmer as well. So it's really not necessarily.
100%. So when you start to drop more than 2 degrees and it goes down from there, that's when you have to worry about hypothermia.
So who, Dr. Grill, is most at risk in conditions like this? And what are some tips really to protect yourself?
Yeah. So obviously seniors, especially those with chronic medical conditions, like people with lung disease, they have trouble breathing outside. People that experience homelessness, even people that have a permanent residence. Some people don't have adequate access to heat and electricity. And then there's some jobs where you have to spend a lot of time outside, like construction workers. And obviously infants are high risk. So tips to stay warm. Dress in layers. If you can get clothes, especially the outer layer, to be windproof and waterproof, that's great. Protect your skin from exposure, right? So like hat for the ears, scarf for the nose, mittens for the hands, because you want your fingers to be able to move around. It's kind of better than gloves. Warm boots. If you have to be outside in these cold temperatures, take a break. So find a heated building, public library, shopping mall. There's warming centers around the city, right? Plan ahead. So check the forecast. If there's a severe weather alert, like check the Environmental Canada website. And you might have to reschedule things if it's really cold outside. Use de-icing material on your property. You want to avoid slips and falls for you and anyone coming to your house. Make sure you have regular maintenance of your heaters and your furnace in your house. You don't want to find out they don't work when the temperatures really drop. And because we're Canadian, we're very neighborly. Check on anyone who you know is high risk, family, friends, seniors in your area, to make sure they're okay. And for those of us that have pets, make sure the walks are shorter. Don't leave them outside, especially in a car, because they're also at high risk.
Can I quickly ask you, Dr. Grill, we're in for a really, really cold stretch over the next 7 days. Is there a temperature you look at and just go, you shouldn't go? I realize some people must be, or unfortunately are, but is there a temperature in general you say you should not be outside skiing, snowboarding, just recreational, whatever?
Yeah. So Environmental Canada starts to talk about when it gets to minus 10 degrees, you start to worry about these things. And obviously, like, if it, with the wind chill in effect, if it gets like minus 25, minus 30, it's actually recommended to like stay indoors. But again, depends on your level of risk, depends on whether you have the right layers to protect yourself, and you want to make sure you take those breaks. But you're right. When it's below minus 10, you want to start thinking about this stuff. And again, take those tips that I mentioned to stay warm, and hopefully that'll keep you healthy during these really cold temperatures.
I know a lot of kiddos are probably skiing on the weekends as well, and they're going to need those hand warmers, toe warmers, all the gear.
All that stuff.
Everything,
Okay, Dr. Grill, thanks so much for joining us to break down these risks and tips. Appreciate it.
Good to see you again, Dr. Grill. Thank you.